President. Thank you very much for attending this press conference. Before I begin reading the press statement, I wish to give a brief of why we are here today. We all know today is the 2nd of November, and on this date, 100 years ago, the then British Foreign Secretary did a letter to the leader of the Zionist movement in London, explaining to them that Her Majesty government or His Majesty government has thought of giving them power to have their state of their own in the current Palestine land. And over time, this letter out of this letter, and the Israeli state was formed in 1948. So today, and the letter is called the Balfour Declaration. Out of the letter came the Balfour Declaration. So today, as we sit here, we are commemorating this day as the saddest day in the Palestinian history, when their land was taken over by the Israelis. So thank you very much. Before I begin, I wish to read the press statement. And the theme of today's meeting or lecture is called Revisiting the Balfour Declaration, and I'm going to read it. Today, the 2nd of November 2019, marks 102nd anniversary of the British issuing controversial Balfour Declaration. The Palestinian Liberation Advocacy Kenya, which is a lobby fighting for the withdrawal of the Balfour Declaration, is holding a press conference and seminar, which will be followed by a protest action later in the week in solidarity with the Palestinian people. The Balfour Declaration turned the Zionist aim of establishing a Jewish state in the Palestine into reality when Britain publicly pledged to establish a national home for the Jewish people. As the mandate power following the First World War, the indigenous majority Palestinian population came under British rule. However, Britain had already made it clear in the declaration issued by the then Foreign Secretary, Balfour, on 2nd November 2017, on 2nd November 2017, that they would actively work towards establishing a Jewish national homeland, even though at that time the Jews made only 10% of the population. In the words of the Palestinian American academic Edward Said, the Balfour Declaration was made by the European power about an European territory, in flat disregard of both the presence and the wishes of the native majority residents in the territory, who are the Palestinians. The declaration is seen as one of the main catalysts of the 1948 Nakba, the ethnic cleansing of the Palestine, that led to the founding of the Zionist state of Israel in 1948. The same colonial power, Britain, that colonized Kenya, bear responsibility for the ongoing Israeli colonization of the Palestine. The liberation war in Kenya fought against the Britain, and the ongoing struggle for the Palestinian people for the national self-determination are part of the same fight for the freedom and justice. Last year, just over 100 years since the Balfour Declaration, the Israeli government passed the Jewish national state law, which proclaimed the right of a national self-determination in the state of Israel is unique to the Jewish people. This proclamation eliminates Palestinians from their homeland by law. In practice, Israel is trying to eliminate the Palestinian people through uprooting olive trees, destroying crops, and building settlement on stolen land. Besiege Gaza, which has been described by the UN as an open-air prison. Shooting to kill and maim peaceful Palestinians protesters in Gaza. Demolishing homes in East Jerusalem and arbitrarily arresting and detaining Palestinians, including children, amongst numerous other atrocities. Just this past week, 95 Palestinian civilians, including 43 children, a woman, and a paramedics and journalists, were shot and injured by the Israeli occupation forces fire against the peaceful protesters at the 80th Great March returned in Gaza on Friday, 25th October. On 28th October, Heba al-Labdi, a 24-year-old Palestinian with Jordanian citizenship, was hospitalized on her 35th day of open hunger strike against the administrative detention, imprisonment by the Israeli without charge or trial. International support for Palestinians and isolation of the apartheid Israeli state is more urgent than ever before. We therefore ask the Palestinian community, we therefore ask the international community, led by the United Nations and other bodies, to act with speed and compel the Zionist racist Israeli government to stop racist treatment of the Palestinian people and treat them with dignity they deserve. Allow Palestinians to move freely in their land. Allow Palestinian football team to compete without any hindrance with FIFA. Allow Palestinian football team to compete without any interest, failure to which FIFA should act decisively and ban Israeli national team from competing in international assignments. 4. Allow Palestinian people to freely receive medical services to facilitate to facilities of their own choice, and the Israel should stop denying Palestinian people medical services with the view of annihilating them. It is evident that Israel denies Palestinian people medical services and allowing them to die with the view of reducing their population. 5. Stop destroying Palestinian buildings and crops in stolen land. 6. Stop besieging Gaza, which has been described as an open-air prison by the UN. Stop shooting to kill and maim peaceful Palestinian protesters in Gaza. Stop demolishing of Palestinian homes in East Jerusalem and arbitrary arrest and detention of Palestinians, including children, amongst other numerous atrocities. We also urge the British government to withdraw the letter and apologize to the Palestinian people for suffering and miseries they have undergone because of the letter, failure to which we shall be organizing regular protests against the Israeli and British government until our demands are met. We are also going to petition the FIFA to forthwith suspend Israeli national team from participating in football activity until our demands are met. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Why not just the people in the Middle East should be participating in this kind of sensitization? And why are we creating awareness? Why should other African countries and the globe at large be part of this?
Oh, thank you very much for your question. Let me begin by this. There was racial segregation in South Africa some time back, before 1994, the end of apartheid regime. And the whole world stood with South Africans, the whole world. At a point, even FIFA banned South African national team football national team from playing into the world event. They were even banned by Olympics Committee from playing international because of racial segregation there. Now, we are seeing racial segregation taking place in Palestine. The Israeli having a policy of racial segregation or apartheid in Palestine, but the world is quiet. And we know why the world is quiet. It's because they are being supported by the British and America. And when the British and Americans are supporting somebody, if the world goes quiet because of the repercussions. It is not that the world does not know there's atrocities taking place there, but the world media controlled by the CNN and CNN and the BBC do not want to show the suffering being caused by the Israeli against the Palestinians. So, as we supported South Africa, so the world is also supposed to support Palestinians and see that this racial segregation has ended and the Palestinian people are free, and the Palestinian people are supposed to live together with the Israeli. Because initially the Israeli and Palestinians used to stay together in the land of the Palestine. It is only in 1948 when the Israeli and by the help, the British decided to push the Palestinians out of their land to create the state of Israel. And this should stop. They should be allowed to live together because they are human beings. We are all children of God. Nobody is the children of devil. The Palestinians and the Israel are all children of God. And to finish answering your question, the Arab states, you know, issue of racial segregation is not an issue of the Arab states, but they are doing something. It's only that they are being overwhelmed and are being intimidated, are being told not to raise the issues of the Palestinians because the interest of the West is for the Palestinian people to be annihilated, killed, and finished so that the land belongs to the Israelis.
I'd like to ask a question. You're talking about 1945 about the creation. I, as a Christian, I was born believing that Israel is a holy land owned by their forefathers. And we also meant to believe that people like Moses, great prophets, were born in that land. So are you trying to say that the whole story that you're talking about, because you mentioned that Israelis were living in Palestinian land, so you're talking about, are you trying to say that this land never belonged to Moses and Abraham, as you're being told? Are you refuting the story of the Bible?
Thank you very much. I'm not refuting the story of the Bible. I'm taking we as human rights are taking the angle of human rights, suffering of the people. You know, God does not want for people's right to be trampled. God does not want to be sent out of your house. God does not want people to live peacefully because God is God of peace. I'm not saying the Palestinians are good people. I'm also saying they are not bad people. But even criminals have their rights. They have a right to life. They have to live. They have the right to enjoy good things like any other person. But when somebody tries to racially segregate them, economically segregate them, and there is apartheid, then there's something wrong. Even the Israelis, when they were being killed in Germany during the Holocaust, the whole world stood with them. So I'm not at any time refuting the Bible. What I'm saying, people should live together as brothers and sisters, and that is a doctrine of God.
I give an input also on that, to answer that question, is that, you know, with the current land of Palestine, it's called the land of Palestine, it's not the land of Israel, it's the land of the Palestine. The problem, we have to look at these things on a human rights lens, because there are some people who are brought, they were not even living there. After 1947, there's a people, I think there were Kazas who were brought from somewhere, coming and brought to the land of their Palestine. So we have to look at these things on a human rights lens, that the people from somewhere, foreigners are coming to people's lands, and then come and start to segregate them in their own land. Not that the Palestinians have gone to another people's land. It's some people who have come to their own land, segregated them, and manipulate, abuse them, and violate their rights.
Any other question? Okay, thank you very much, members of the fourth estate, for coming. We shall share with you the press statement.